Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. Today, of course, is our comics news today, but we do have a guest, and we're going to be talking to them about their Kickstarter, and that's going to be a lot of fun. We always enjoy seeing indie creators come on here and talk about their wares and the things that they're working on. And of course, we have one today we haven't spoken to a while, but a good friend of the show, great supporter of indie comics, and we'll be talking to him momentarily. But of course, first thing I need to do is remind you guys of all of our links down below. Please get involved with those, particularly the Fanspeak over on Facebook. Also, definitely hit that share button and let your family and friends know what's going on so they come over here and join us because we're live streamers, so we want to have people here with us. Although we do appreciate all the people who watch the show after, which is always impressive to me. How many people come back and actually watch it? So thank you all very much for doing that. We appreciate you 100%. And we also have to come over first, and I'll get in trouble if I don't do this first, and talk about an extremely filthy, oily bird who seems to like pies, and he's from Tasmania or something like that.
No, it's New Zealand. Am I working? Is Mike working and everything?
Yeah, everything's working. You're doing good.
Oh my, everything's working. Oh
Uh-huh,
goodness
uh-huh,
me.
uh-huh.
Thank you, Jeebus. I think I'm done with the pies, Chester. Apparently, when you just eat them for lunch every day for a
Mhm,
year, they
mhm.
get boring.
They get boring. I bet you they do. What have you
I'm
moved
a
on to?
noodle guy now.
You're a noodle guy now.
Yeah, I
Okay.
give that one a week, then I'm back to pies.
Probably.
Yeah.
Now we were speculating that the reason you were having trouble was actually you were just trying to dodge the show because you had your new waifu pillow.
Hmm? Hmm? Oh no, that's not coming in for another week. It
Oh,
has
so now I
nothing to
see.
do with that. Why would I want to dodge this monumentous day?
Momentous, I think is the word you want. And
No, I said it right. Screw you, Chester.
okay, thank you. But no, I actually was sitting there talking before. You told me what the Japanese name of those things were. What was it again?
What, the waifu pillow?
Yeah.
I don't know the Japanese word for that. You're gonna have to ask a super weeb for that one.
Oh, I see. So you only need
But didn't it just translate into big pillow?
I think so. I think it's Dai
Yeah,
Makura.
yeah.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, it's just big pillow. But it's funny. Uh,
Makara. Yaru nakare.
that's not even close. You guys suck.
Nakare.
All right. So John Dilla just came in here and he says, "I was here before Jennifer." I don't think so. Pretty sure Jennifer was in here, and thank you very
Yeah.
much for being in here. John sounds like he's spiced up today, so this should be interesting. Hey, we got Star Storyteller. It says hello to everyone and hashtag Free Hong Kong. I agree 100%. And Eric says, Chester, the Flash season premiere was epic. You know why?
I don't believe you.
They played Flash by Queen. Aha! Oh, okay. Actually, we're going to
No.
talk about that here in
May
a little bit.
may I ask you a question? A serious question.
Uh-huh. Why is everybody eating around me? Go ahead.
Sorry.
It's lunchtime.
The thing going on in Hong Kong is really a smokescreen for what's going on in North China. Do you agree?
No, not even a little. No.
Do you know what's going on up there?
I know what's going on all over Asia. You know why? Because I live here. See, that was for Eric
do you
and other
think they're
people
just-
want to complain because I live in Japan and I say it from time to time. They get very angry with me. Go ahead, dude.
Do you think they're just allowing what's going on in Hong Kong to go on so that it doesn't bring world attention to what's going on in North China?
What's going on in North China?
Trainloads of people are being persecuted and brought up to North China to be reprogrammed.
Oh, you're talking about the execution camps?
Yeah, well, hopefully they're not executing all those people, but they might be.
I just want to jump in real quick. I'm sorry I wasn't introduced, but I want to say I don't think anyone cares what's going on in North China, and it's really sad. Anyone with a hand on the lever of power doesn't care. You don't hear about it in the mainstream media because every politician in this, not every politician, but a lot of our politicians, a lot of our media is in the pockets of China, or China more accurately is in their pocket, filling it with a lot of money. And you're not going to ever hear anything about it until after it's become, a global atrocity, and the average person watching a stream like this wakes up and says, "Holy shit, what's happening over there?" Excuse my language.
Well, no, it's we've covered that here before. Of course, the real reason they hate on Trump has nothing to do with Trump, has to do with the fact that he's trying to make America a producer again instead of a consumer, because they spent so much money in China, so that they can get Americans just buying everything and make tons and tons of money constantly, because the communist people will not get raises. They will not become modernized and make a lot of money. Only a certain percentage is allowed to be wealthy, and they allow them in their big cities because they want to show the progress. But the majority of people in China, of course, are dirt poor. They get paid hardly anything per hour, and that's the real thing that's going on. Now,
Are
you
you
talk
saying
about,
that the people that push the narrative that capitalism is evil and everything and only benefits the 1% are enabling that behavior in another country?
of course they are. That's right.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and there's a lot of atrocities going on over there, dude. It's not just the religious type people. What you're talking about is I can't remember what they call themselves offhand, but they're a type of well, to be fair, they're a kind of cult, but they're a very peaceful type of cult that is spread across China, and they're basically just getting rid of them because they don't. These people are well, they're kind of troublesome to the communist thinking. There's
Why? What are
also
they doing? Like, are they making dildo memes with Xi or what?
maybe. And of course, if you make any kind of, they do say things against the government. It's pretty much the trouble they have. They're not violent, but they openly speak against the government, and that's why they're
But
being taken
they're
to northern China. You also have the Muslims in the West who basically
Muslims, right?
they've been walled up in their cities, literally walled up in their cities, and either given the opportunity to work for the communist company or starve to death. Right? There's hundreds, if not thousands, of little atrocities going across China every day, and what's going on down in Hong Kong is something that happened, naturally, just from the Hong Kong people desperately wanting to have freedom because they've had it for so long. They didn't have to go through that whole red book moments and all the murder and all the trouble that went through. So they're not used to it. They're more used to a democratic free society, and of course China is cracking down. So no, I don't think one has anything to do with the other, because it's kind of hard for the average person to keep up with the atrocities of China anyway. You know what I mean?
Right. And
But
and a lot of China's tactics is basically what a lot of us not a lot of us, but a lot of country that went into China employed against the Chinese government now employing against their own people and other
yeah.
country as well.
Well, I mean,
So
look how upset they get when the South Park guys make a show joking against them. They cancel it in China, and they demand all these kind of things. And of course, the South Park guys just mockingly apologize, right? How about
right.
things with we were talking about with Blizzard and several of these other companies that have any content with Tencent at all, and we know they're just kowtowing to the Chinese because of all the money it's over there, and they don't care
And
about
yeah,
their users. They're burning them left and right. I mean,
right.
China is a real issue, actually.
Right. And that's just Tencent that we were talking about. We're not talking about the other state-owned companies that are also buying stakes in US companies. So when you're
Oh yeah.
wondering why are all these companies kowtowing to China is because they're be shareholding in those stakes in those companies, and these companies ultimately, hold up to their stakeholder. And if their stakeholder is China, that's why you see Blizzard. That's why you see everybody who's bowed down to China doing that
Mhm.
because China already owns a part of them
Oh, they
for
do,
that.
and more than you think. But this is
Mhm.
way away from comics news, but that's all right. More than you think, because in America, the Chinese own a lot of land and business and stuff, but we have certain rules in America that keeps them from just simply buying the country, right?
If it
Canada.
wasn't for Donald Trump, the Chinese would own everything.
Oh yeah, no, Donald's been pushing hard against it, and good for him for doing that.
I mean,
I
And
just mean as a realtor.
yeah.
Oh, well, I see. Okay. Well, he as president, he's also been very helpful. But one thing a lot of people don't understand that the biggest private landowner in Canada is China.
Yep.
Let me say that again. The biggest private landowner in Canada is China. That's
Same in New
insane.
York. Same in New York. Same in Los Angeles. Same in Portland.
Yeah. Yeah.
You start seeing some connection there going on.
No,
You know,
and this is not the first time this happened. Way back in the '80s, during the Japanese absolute boom, they were buying everything in their brother, and of course, this is why we had the big pushback against Japan in the '80s. Buy American was
Mhm.
a big slogan, and there was a lot of anti-Japanese sentiment. It was because they were buying everything. The big difference between what Japan did and what China did is Japanese were just having a good time being rich, right? Whereas the Chinese have agenda. So that's the real difference. But
yeah,
nevertheless,
Well, and
they're
now Japan's been in a recession for like 40 years now, it seems.
that's
early
not
'90s. It's when
Is that
when
not
the
an
bubble
accurate
burst.
description?
not
No,
really. The bubble
it-
popped in the '90s, true. And the Japanese, if you ask a Japanese person, they're like, "Oh my God, it's a horrible recession." Dude, they live well. The average Japanese has a lot more money in their pocket than the average American, by far.
Mhm.
yeah.
They just don't understand that. For them, it's a recession, but in reality, the economy is booming like crazy. Now I'm pretty
Well,
lucky because the Japanese put a high value on education. It's like the most important thing for them. Therefore, my business, private school, I actually do quite well because it doesn't matter. Even though they think they're in a recession, which they're not, they still will spend money on education, and my services in my school aren't particularly cheap. Now they're not expensive compared to say some of the Western schools, which get quite ridiculous with their monthly fees. But it's a bit of an illusion because their economy is better than America per capita. But it's not like it used to be. I mean, they were
well,
ridiculously rich before. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's what the bubble is. They had the illusion of raised prices, and then now they normalize, but they were used to all that money
Hmm.
that they don't really recognize that. Yeah, you had all this money that was false, and now this is reality of how much money your country actually has. That's what happened with a lot of depression, recession, is that the bubble kind of burst, and this is just the economy reorganizing itself to say, no, this is really what you have. You just you overinflated these
Yeah.
property and stocks.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's a separate
like,
issue, but
but like you, yeah, but like
yeah.
you said, just we are very veering off
We're
comics
way
away.
off it, yeah,
But
but that's all right. Star Storyteller says, Chester, is that because they also tend to be savers? Yeah, no, the Japanese are very frugal people. They do save a lot of money, and therefore they're able to do things. But it also has something to do with the culture itself. Like for instance, I'm in the process of I have to buy a new car because my car is like 11 years old, and I don't want to put it through another shock-in or another safety check period because it's very expensive. So I just want to get a new car, and I'm going around shopping and doing stuff like that. But the difference is, in America, if you go to buy a new car, well, most average people, you go to buy a new car, you're going to put some money down. You're going to pay some kind of monthly fee. Here in Japan, you don't do that. You go buy a car. So you're putting down 30, 40, 50 grand, depending on what you're getting, or less. A lot of people drive K cars, so they're like 10 to 20 grand. But that's how you do here in Japan. You go buy a house, you don't go to the bank and get a mortgage. You buy a house, right? It's this their culture, and therefore they are geared toward that. They're also a cash-based system more than a credit card. Although recently we have been getting more credit cards, and it's become more useful as far as that goes. But because I hardly carry cash at all anymore, but they are a cash carry culture. So when you live inside in a situation like that where no one thinks about going to a bank for a loan, I mean that's like a big business move, right? Then you tend to be in a situation where you're saving money up until you get that 20, 30 grand, so you can do whatever it is you're doing, right? That's just how they work. That's how they think,
all right,
you know.
and I think those values needs to return back to the state sides, where we're
Maybe.
not falling into the traps of massive debt and everything. Because I think that's kind of what hurt us, as well as we're not economically frugal with our spending, because we
Mhm.
have this safety net, quote unquote, of credit cards. Even though I know a lot of people would disagree with me saying
Uh-huh.
credit cards are not safety nets. They're the devil's.
Well, credit
hand.
cards are dangerous things,
Yeah.
from what I can see. But
Mhm.
you have another trouble over on the West. Although I don't know the statistics right now. I would think Trump's economic surge has probably improved the lot of many people. But I do know that under Obama, and of course we went through, because Bush was a rhino. He's not an actual Republican, right? So we went through a Democratic rule for a long time. The last statistic I saw was that the average family of four, right, was getting
Mhm.
by on $2,400 a month. That was the average in the country. I can't even imagine that. My wife makes more than that, dude. I can't even imagine that. That's just how in the world how in this modern world can you survive off of that? That is very difficult thing to do.
I'm moving ahead.
Well,
Yahoo!
well, I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not talking about a young person like yourself, Booster. You could get by on
Even a
that fine.
boy.
I'm talking about a family of four.
Yeah, true.
That is rough, dude. That is tight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Anyway, we're way off subject, but
Yeah.
interesting. Anyway, hi Dinale.
Hi.
Hi George.
Apparently,
Greetings. Greetings.
Hi Todd.
What's going on?
Oh, there
How
you
are you?
Okay, there
Sorry
you
about
go.
that. I didn't mean to do that, by the way. As far as when you mentioned Hong Kong, I just wanted to get your
that's
feel
what
on the
happens,
whole.
Well, that's
Todd.
right. It is Todd's
Yeah.
fault. Everyone
No,
point
no.
at
It is,
Todd.
blame
Point.
Todd.
Point
We
at
should be
Todd.
I
I'm
believe we should
pointing.
be talking about Megawatt, now
We should
available on
be.
Kickstarter by
Yeah, I have
Crypto Comics.
I have utmost respect for you, and I thought I'd ask your ultimate opinion
Well,
on
thank you.
what's
Flattery
going on
goes
with
a
it.
long way.
Mostly respect.
Yeah, no, it's an absolute, may I say, shit show. So what are you gonna do?
Mm-hmm. You may say.
Yeah. Anyway, hello everybody. But let's come over here and say hello to our guest, Matt. Hello. Can I call you Matt, or you want me to call you Crypto?
Call me whatever you want. Just don't call me late for dinner.
Okay. So we shall
I'd
go
just
with
like to let me just
El
start by saying I'd
Bastardo.
just like to make it clear, President Xi. I do not agree with any of these foolish Americans. I think China is wonderful. Please send money.
Yeah.
Oh no, he sold us
President
out.
Z can go
Enslave
suck one.
Hong Kong. Enslave Hong Kong.
Well, there you go. There's your introduction to crypto, guys. So, dude, we're here to talk about your new project, which looks quite good. I'm going to get to here in a moment. But of course, first thing we want to do is, I know a lot of people over here in this chat know who you are, just for the sake of it, go ahead and tell us, who you are, how you became a writer, and how did you get involved with creating this new book?
Well, I'd say I started writing around maybe 7 or 8 years old. Maybe it was 6. I don't know. I think I learned my alphabet around 5 or 6, and then started writing shortly thereafter.
Mhm.
And it's always stuck with me. I'm sorry. I'm just being a shitheel now.
Yes, you are.
You
That's
know,
okay.
I how did I start writing? Oh my gosh, man! I was always a writer as a kid. I was always writing like little short stories and stuff. And then I started, working in film and co-wrote a screenplay that got turned into a really crappy movie. And decided after a few experiences in film and 13 years of experience in television, that the best thing I could do would be to just make my own damn movie and not rely on other people to get their movie right, because a lot of times, everybody's seen a crappy movie, right?
Sure.
And when you're in the middle of that and you're on a set, you're watching this movie end up being crappy, and there's nothing you can do to stop it because you're not in charge.
Right.
And at that point, I said, I just need to do this for myself. And so I sat down and I really practiced honing my skills as a writer and understanding what it takes to write a screenplay really well, and understanding how all screenplays are the same. They all have things in common. What do the Goonies have in common with A Nightmare on Elm Street? When you find out the answers, you know how to write a screenplay.
Oh,
And
cool.
somehow I got, you get sucked into this comic book thing online. Your boy Zach, I would say maybe. I think it was actually maybe an article in the Federalist. I'm an avid news junkie, and I think that might have been where I first heard about it. And I don't know how I got in the rabbit hole. And then like a month later, a guy who I collected for a long time named Ethan Van Sciver. I was one of those original Cyber Frog collectors. Then he got into Comicsgate, and it just like, and then all of a sudden, like, here's Mike Miller and here's Doug TenNapel, and it was pretty amazing. And I made the conscious decision to take some of the screenplays that would be well suited for comic books and start the long, arduous process of having them adapted. I'm not a artist. I can't pencil anything worth a crap. I mean, I can if I really try.
Well, you got GOP on the
like,
project, so
not like real guys, not guys like Todd. These guys can draw, and I don't. I just describe things. I'm good at describing things.
Well, that's the writer's skill. Yeah.
Went through a slew of different artists, and finally found some really good people and some really good talent. And I guess the first thing I think maybe Slick Jimmy's Little Girl Lethal. That should be going to the printers like sometime this month.
Yeah, no, I was talking
I
to
co-wrote
the other day about that. Yeah,
I co-wrote the backup story in that, which anyone who is involved in Comicsgate will love. And then let's see, I helped Nasser with a couple of his little projects. Not little. I'm not trying to diminish them, but in any way, Trixie Kane, and then I don't want to mention like anything else because that's his business. But I'm always willing to read for anybody. So I've had so many people send me scripts to read and just, can you give me notes on this? And
yeah, no, I've done quite a bit of editing behind the scenes myself, and it's fun. I actually like it. I can take a time, 30 minutes or so to go through and edit a thing, but not have to worry about all the other stuff that goes through with it because I don't have the time. So yeah, it's fun. I do. Eric says, "Hey, hang on a hot damn minute. Is this the crypto I've been told I'm not supposed to like? You should hate.
Yeah,
it.
don't
hate this
you
guy.
don't want to like me, Eric. Wrong guy.
He's El Bastardo. Remember that? Yeah,
I am.
Yeah, he is. But you and I have a lot more in common.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you and I have a lot more in common than just the comic book stuff. You and I are big wrestling fans.
Oh, we are bit. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm a wrestling fan. I guess nowadays it's sports entertainment, right?
It's true.
Make that definition.
It's true, but you know what I mean. We've had you had that running thing you were doing over there with the was it Drawn in Blood or Blood and what was that thing you were doing?
Yeah, we tried that for a few minutes. I have another YouTube channel called Testosterone Overload.
Yeah.
There's 5 decades worth of professional wrestling from the Pacific Northwest, going back all the way to 1977. You can see the stars of Portland wrestling like Superfly, Jimmy Snuka.
Yeah, that's right.
Jesse the Body Ventura.
You had some pretty good guests too, man.
Raven got his start there. Big Scott Norton got his start there. I mean, it's a star-studded lineup over at Testosterone Overload if you like professional wrestling.
Yeah, it is cool.
And the planes, they fly over the river here, so.
No, that's okay. But of course, it does link up to the project which I'm about to jump over to right now because I do believe there's some wrestling involved in this.
Yeah, there is there's some lucha. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Luchadores Enmascarados.
Oh, yeah, no, of course we are.
The Luchadores Enmascarados genre is from the 50s, 60s, and 70s down in Mexico. This was a legitimate film genre.
Yeah.
There are over 150 like action-adventure movies made starring luchadors. So imagine Iron Man if they only had $100,000 to make it, and they got a masked Mexican wrestler to play Tony Stark instead of Iron Man. They just replaced it with El Santo or Mil Máscara as a Blue Demon, or for the kids, Rey Mysterio Jr.
Ooh, Ray.
Yeah.
I like Ray. He's a pretty good wrestler. There was a cartoon. I can't remember the name of it. It was a cartoon some years back. My kids loved it. Watched it all the time. Lucha something.
Lucha Libres?
Lucha Libre. Yeah. Free wrestling. That my kids loved that show. That was actually it was a pretty good show. Actually, it was funny.
Oh wait, no, Mucha.
You're talking about Mucha Lucha, the cartoon, right?
Mucha Lucha?
No, Lucha Libre. Or maybe was it Mucha Lucha?
Lucha
Underground. I'm talking about live wrestling or a cartoon.
No, it was cartoon. It was cartoon.
Mucha Libre. You're thinking of Jack Black. Nacho Libre as
No,
well.
I'm
Oh,
not.
yeah, that's
I'm
fine.
talking about the cartoon.
All right,
Uh,
look, I've looked it up on Google Images. Look, I'm a share. We'll come over here, Chester. Is
all
this
right,
the one you're
fine.
talking
I'm
about?
coming.
Oh, that quick, eh? All
I
right.
want to say to Star Storyteller, crypto is in the Northwest. I am in the great state of Washington, just north of Portland.
Yes, this is it, but I don't
Yeah.
remember that being the name. This must be the stupid New
Lucha.
Zealand name.
No, this is the stupid actual name, Chester.
Yeah.
Mucha Lucha.
Also known as
I don't recall
Mucha
being that.
Gigante, or the.
Well, they probably called it something different over there, right?
Maybe. But anyway,
And
that's
Lucha
definitely
Libre
the
those guys are all very popular in Japan too, in the Puroiso.
Oh, of course. Yeah,
No
no,
Mascaras
Japanese
is a
love
legend
their
in Dos Caras.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but
so-
anyways, yeah, that's what really inspired me to. Well, there's many things that inspire you to write a story, right?
Sure.
And one of the
All right.
things was, I just kind of was enchanted with these old luchador movies because they're so silly and bad,
Oh yeah.
and there's an appeal in
Soap
how
opera.
low budget they are.
Yeah.
And they're not trying to pretend that it's something great. It just is what it is. And I thought, man, this would be really fun to bring into the 21st century, and see what it would be like if it was set in America. And I kind of came up, with this idea of, so let's say these vampires are helping import undocumented immigrants into the United States so that they have a steady supply of food. Because what happens when an undocumented immigrant disappears? Nothing happens. Nobody cares. It's not like they have social security cards. They just went back to
True.
Mexico.
That's true.
But what if they didn't? What if they were abducted by this nefarious coven? Well, it turns out that this coven soon discovers that there is something in the blood of some of these beautiful Mexican women that allows them to walk in the sunlight. And if they can figure out the secret of the Mexican blood, they'll be able to walk in the daylight always, each and every day. And what would that mean for humans? It would totally shift the balance of power. Vampires would no longer have to hide in the dark shadows of the night. They could walk in the sunshine right next to us, feed in public.
Wow.
And, well, unfortunately, it's going to take a trio of luchadors to stop these blood-sucking freaks.
Well, it's very topical, but you just triggered every blue hair in the Western Hemisphere.
Why?
Because that's what they do. They're professionally triggered, dude.
Well, I don't know how it could trigger them. Like, it's just,
You
it's just
mentioned
a fun story
Mexicans. That's why.
why they don't like Mexicans being heroes.
Do you
They're not
refer
all
to them as
beggars and rapists.
Latinx?
Come on, they're-
I got a Mexican
You
running
know.
around my chat causing trouble, by the way.
Oh no.
Lucha, lucha, lucha. Yeah, that's right, Nick. But cool, dude. No, actually, it's a fun premise. So basically, you got luchadors fighting against vampires. The vampires are specifically targeting immigrants because, one, it's convenient and safe, and two, there may well be some mysterious bonus for them. Cool. Nice,
Sure, yeah,
simple
and
premise.
there is a political thread. They are being assisted by a human senator who's more interested in money and power. Does this sound familiar to anyone who pays attention to American politics?
It
A senator
does.
more interested in money and power than the people that he's supposed to be looking out for?
Oh, yeah. So you're talking about Trump, right?
No, I'm not. His name is actually the senator in my book is named Ruben Marcos. Senator Ruben Marcos has turned on his people.
Oh my God. The funny thing for me was I actually bared through some of those Democratic, I don't know what they call them, peacock shows. And
Sure, yeah.
and how many of them tried to
Cover the debate.
speak the Spanish,
Yeah, they did. They definitely did.
It's funny. But all right, so this
But
is
what's
a
really
little,
cool is you can get like drawn into the book. We have a lot of different tiers. This one's almost sold out. I think we only have one left. If you scroll down just a hair, you'll see it. For $75, you get a signed comic book. You get your name printed. That's the other thing. Like, we decided we're going to print everybody's name in the back of the book who buys a physical copy.
that's cool.
And
That's cool.
so you get, the signed comic book, the digital download, the poster, your name printed in the back, and you can be drawn into the book in. We're not just talking one panel. If you're a vampire or the referee, you're going to probably be in. With the referee, definitely you're in multiple panels on multiple pages. Vampires, some of these vampires will be able to last into the next book. This
Sweet,
is
man.
This is a 156-page script. And so we broke it down.
Wow.
You know, ideally, I'd love to do it as 2 books, 2 80-page books. But really, that's up to people backing it. You know,
Yeah.
if we can make the page count grow, if we get more money, obviously we can pay Josh Spencer, the talented artist in Sydney, Australia, to draw more pages. And I'd much rather tell the story over 2 books than over 3, but, you know, whatever. And so if you are a vampire, you do have the opportunity to get in on being, you know, a reoccurring character in a comic book.
And here is
And some of them might
course,
have a line, you know,
the
like,
options, right? The question mark.
yeah, see, like
faces
here's
are
3
you,
of
right?
them. These could be you.
Hey, tell Josh Spencer to not draw me with chubby cheeks, and I'm in.
I can do that. Yeah, I'll make, and I promise that
Yeah.
everyone who wants to be drawn into the book, we will make the best looking you possible.
I'll be beautiful in comic form.
Now, I mean, now granted, if you look like Sloth, like there's
Oh.
only so much we can do.
Oh no.
I mean,
Like, I mean, but I mean, I promise
Booster's an oily
Booster.
bird.
This is what I
So,
can
I don't-
promise: is unlike in real life, Booster, you will not look like you have like Down syndrome in the comic book. I mean,
That's true. That's true. That's a good
Oh,
point.
why am I his friend again? How you prick?
Let me see here. There are some really great things in the chat I got to cover, so let me do that. Nick C says
Alright.
Al Santano versus Las Mujeres
El
Vampiro.
Santo. It means the saint. He's the silver
El
saint.
Yeah.
Santo, sorry. Versus Las oh, damn it, Vampiro.
Las Mujeres Vampiro.
Thank you. I don't do Mexican. Was one of my favorite flicks growing up. I can't wait for the sadness that is Democratic primaries. Oh, they are funny, dude. Let's see. We have John Dillard says, is someone talking about the superior Mexican race? I agree. Mexicans are
Proudly.
special and set
Proudly.
apart from the rest of you basic humans. Well, thanks, John. Thank you very much. He says how much to be drawn into this book, rubbing up these Latina. He wants to be rubbing up against Latina. So.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, who could blame him? She's very, very attractive.
Oh, she is. Yeah.
I actually, that's so funny he says that because I showed this to my father earlier, and he said, "Now, how much would it cost me to be drawn with this girl as my girlfriend?" I was just like, "Yeah, exactly."
Thanks, Dad.
Everybody likes Josh. Josh Spencer draws very, very attractive ladies. He sure does.
He does. Yes, he does. He does. Yeah, she is well endowed, I would say. For sure. Now, what I'm going to do now, we're going to come back and look at the perks and stuff later. But you've
Okay.
kind of covered real straight and quick to the point, maybe more succinctly than anyone has since we've been doing this show. Actually, we all understand exactly what's going on. Done, which is good.
I do a podcast with I do a wrestling podcast with a guy named Bruce Hart out of Calgary, and so I'm used to kind of talking on the radio. And I used to produce a segment for a local radio station many
Well, there
years
you go.
ago. So
Well,
this is
thank you.
kind of old hat for me.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much. What I'm going to do now, though, is something
No, let's wait, Chester.
No,
Let's
I'm
wait.
doing
Let
it
me tell
now.
the people about the special.
Nah,
Let's do something
I'm doing
special.
it. I'm doing it.
Did you
now.
know? Did you know that right now on my YouTube channel on Crypto Comics, it's Rob Liefeld Appreciation Month?
Why? What does that have to
What
do
are
with
you
anything?
doing?
All right.
What could you possibly be doing over there?
Appreciating Rob Liefeld every single day for 30 videos in a row. It's
So-
awesome. It's so much fun.
Oh,
Are we trying to
no.
make John Malin happy? Is that what you're doing?
That must,
No,
that must be difficult.
I'm making myself happy. I have no idea how enjoyable it is to get in my. I have a long box that's just Liefeld related stuff.
Oh no.
Not even joking, and it's
no.
full. I'm like, how am I
Oh,
going to fit
no.
3 more comics in here?
Oh no. PS Melters in here says, "I don't do Mexicans." Chester 2019. Thank you. No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch this trailer, and the question I'm going to ask: am I going to like it, or am I going to hate it?
We'll see.
Oh, okay. He's going to leave it up to the mystery. All right, here we go. Clicking it. Very loud. Music's good. Nice tag screen there. Nice. All right.
We had another video with someone dressed up like the Macho Man Randy Savage. That one didn't work as well as this one.
No.
It was fun. It was really fun to put together. But apparently people just want to see art.
Yeah, so far I
So
think
that's
it's good,
definitely
dude.
fine art. This is all Josh Spencer's beautiful artwork.
Yeah.
My friend Josh Mackey put this together. He's very talented.
It's actually a perfect choice of music, I'd say.
Yeah, he nailed it. I don't know why Art T-Bear's in here, but he is. There he is.
All right, well, that's not bad at all, huh, Booster?
It works.
Yeah, no, that works just fine.
We
Way to
haven't
hype
been
it,
mean to
Booster,
anyone's
that was
trailers
good.
for a very long. We haven't been mean to anyone's trailers in a very long time, Chester.
Well,
It
because
feels
they're
good. I
they're
feel like
listening.
it's all our doing.
It is. It's all us. It's
People are
100%.
stepping
Yeah.
up their game with the trailers, man.
are.
Yeah.
And I couldn't imagine what Kyle Ritter would have raised if he would have put out that that cartoon gimmick he did.
Oh yeah.
Oh
as
my
his
goodness.
That was
Jeez,
insane.
that was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
I felt like I was watching Silverhawks again.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, yeah. But no, we have seen an uptick in better trailers. That is true, Booster. And I think
Ever since Ryan Cardinals won, I reckon. Man.
oh right, that's the best one we've seen though. Ryan's
Yeah,
was
yeah.
absolutely freaking phenomenal, dude. No, I think it's 100% our fault. I think it's all our doing. We're
Yeah.
going to take we're going to
Absolutely.
take credit for that. Yeah.
Even though we don't have that many viewers, we'll take it.
We'll take it. We'll say it
No,
was.
I'm
our
gonna be
motive
honest though.
through
I'm gonna
the
be honest
universe.
with you guys. It was just like Booster Kiwi talking to me in private that made me make that and step up my game. It was all 100% Booster Kiwi. He's the brain
Aw.
trust of this
Uh-huh.
show,
Uh-huh.
clearly.
Oh, I
Okay.
demand a.
Let me see. Where is the eject button? Okay.
Make sure you sub to Booster Kiwi. He's the
Please.
PewDiePie of
Absolutely.
indie comics.
He is, and he has
Absolutely,
zero
yes.
content whatsoever.
Content-free guarantee. Subscribe to Booster Kiwi.
Let me see. John Diller seems to have a serious question, I guess. You never know with John. He says, Chester, I'm going to be honest. I'm completely befuddled by the shape of the main character's head. Please ask CC to clarify.
What?
Yeah, I would say that the mask has some extra foam in it. You know, that was the thing. Is I showed Josh 5 different masks that I felt were very compelling, and said, explained what I liked about them, and he came up with this concept for this mask, and it's perfect. It's perfect. It's exactly what I want.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
Mhm.
And
It was cool. I never even thought that he might have like a differently shaped head. I just thought it was a cool mask. I never even
It
We
was
were
cool, man.
actually going to we've been considering maybe doing a mask as part of something you can pledge to get a perk, but we decided to strip it out for the Kickstarter campaign. It's a lot of work to get a mask made. So maybe the next
bet you.
one.
I bet you it does. Yeah.
That would be really cool if you could raise the money for that kind of thing, but
Yeah.
it'd be a bit, wouldn't it?
Well, I mean, all we have to do is just get all these beautiful people in Webtown to just contribute $1,000 each, and we'll be fine.
That's true.
I will give a mask to everyone
Alright,
who contributes
open up, boys.
$1,000 each.
Well,
Mhm,
that it would be a cool little thing just for a promo, of course, but that is very expensive. But I have to say, this project overall is very tight looking, dude. Now I am kind of curious. We promote it though, we think it's awesome. But this Megawatt versus Vampires of the Sun, why is it on Kickstarter, not Indiegogo?
Because it didn't have success on Indiegogo. And I mean, we could have a whole conversation about like all of the different things about Indiegogo versus Kickstarter when you're starting out.
Sure.
And on Kickstarter, we've made, 4 times what we made on Indiegogo, and we did it in a week. So we
Well-
just keep, we're just going to stick with this right now. It's
Yeah.
working.
Well,
There's a lot
yeah.
of
If I may
comments.
interject real
to-
quick, Chester.
Yeah.
Because I do understand what a lot of people are saying when they want to, boycott Kickstarter, right? Because it kind of sucks what they've been doing to some creators, particularly what just happened recently with Mike S. Miller. It's really
right.
stupid that they kicked them off just because they showed the hero beating up a violent gang that just happened to be a little protected class of this, right? But but Kickstarter is very helpful to smaller creators. It's much better for smaller creators than Indiegogo. Indiegogo is better if you have an established audience, but Kickstarter's much better for little guys, man. I don't feel we should punish the little guys just because of what they've done to a few of the other creators.
Well,
I feel it's
I
unfair.
mean, this is the thing. If I could talk about this for a minute, just like a week or so ago, Neil Gaiman said he won't be sharing anymore. I think it was Kickstarter campaigns because Kickstarter is not pro-union. And I just tweeted back at him, like all you're going to do is hurt the little creators. Instead, what you should do is you should tweet the ones you like and say, despite Kickstarter being anti-union, this is still a really good book, and bring more attention to their anti-union stance while still promoting other, independent creators. That's the way I look at it. It's like Mike has retweeted this twice, right? He didn't have to do that at all. And, and especially because Kickstarter denied him, and he still retweeted this twice.
Yeah, no, that's
So-
cool. Yeah, because one thing has nothing to do with the other. Now, Bullet.
You can't create change. You cannot manifest change if you're not willing to interact with what you want to change.
That's true. Now, Bullet says, how did you get on Kickstarter with your depiction of immigrants and POCs? Well, dude, it's because he has
Heroes.
Mexicans fighting Mexicans. That's why.
They're heroes.
They're heroes. Yeah.
I portrayed them in a positive light. And maybe because all the vampires happen to be white, if you didn't notice, you make them all white, and then they're like, oh, he's one of us.
Exactly. Yeah. You have to play the
Oh,
politic
that's
yourself.
sneaky.
Yeah, sneaky. All right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to jump over and do a little bit of news, and then we'll come back and finish off looking at the perks here on this Kickstarter. But it's a nice looking project, dude.
I want Booster to finish me off.
Okay. Okay. Well, anyway, all right. I'm going to jump over and do some news now, and we can ignore that was
That's
said.
just rude.
It was rude. Yeah. But now, right here, guys. I'm not going to spend much time on this because I know everybody and their brothers talking about the
I would
Batwoman thing.
I actually like to spend some time on this.
Well, okay, or if you'd like. But the main thing for me, I don't really care much about the headline. We know that Batwoman is bombing. This person here, Paul Tassi, is saying it's because everyone hates lesbians. And I hate to tell you, Paul, because you might be a little light in your loafers and not understand men. But if you put a bunch of hot lesbians in leather, men line up. You dumbass. All right. So, but beyond that, this thing is bombing. It's 8% on Rotten Tomatoes, which we know Rotten Tomatoes is useless anyway. But
No, on the audience score, it's like
Yeah, audience
70% on the critic score.
oh, of course it is. But now,
Of course it is.
now, what he's doing is blaming the fact that she's a lesbian. Everyone's just hating her because we're all men. Men are
Silly.
horrible. Men are horrible. But that's not
You
what I
know
want to talk about.
That's so stupid.
It is
so
stupid.
stupid
It
because
is. But
She's a fringe character, right? She doesn't have that weight that Batman has, where his parents were killed, and that's the chip he wears on his shoulder. She doesn't have that. She's just going after oppressors.
Yeah.
So it's you guys don't even understand your characters.
Yeah, no, Batwoman isn't
We
very
want the
fun.
heroes.
Jennifer even said she's
No.
boring. I agree. Batgirl is much more
Yeah.
interesting because of who her father is, the whole Oracle thing. Batgirl is
Right.
much
I
more
would
interesting.
actually
cute.
like to see Cassandra Cain. That would be like a kick-ass show. You
That would
kidding
have
me?
been better.
Oh,
Yeah.
the goddess.
She has more weight to her character than this character does. This character has no weight. Nothing. There's nothing to invest in.
Yeah, but hold on a second, guys. I'm not
Bow your
really-
heads, lowly dogs. Josh Spencer has arrived.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh Spencer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now hold on a second, guys. Hold on a second. I'm what I'm interested in talking about has nothing to do with that. What I want to talk about is it's got 8%. It's like 3.2 out of 10 on the IMDb. But what really caught my attention was this right down here. Now, The Flash has been out for a while. The first couple of seasons, Flash was really good actually. Before it went
6
way
seasons.
downhill. Yeah, but it started sucking hardcore. But it already got its votes come in, is what I'm saying. And when it first came out, it wasn't bad at all. It was quite fun. So the initial voting was in the season 1 and 2, right? And it hasn't carried through to the debacle that Flash became. Arrow, once again, the first season or 2 was pretty good. And then it got bad, and it's finally, thank God, it's ending. But once again, those votes came in the beginning, giving it a fairly good percentage. Now the one, and of course, Supergirl has a low because it started bad and it stayed bad. And honestly, I'm surprised it's that high because Supergirl is really bad. But the one that's shocking me out of these numbers is The Legend of Tomorrow with 71% because that show sucks
Yes.
balls, dude. That is a
It's
horrible
really
thing,
shit. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it is bad.
But here's
really,
the
really
deal,
bad.
boys. Have any of you boys actually watched Batwoman yet?
No, why would
It
I?
was never.
Because I watched
Doesn't-
it yesterday.
Oof.
and it was okay.
It was meh.
I might
Oh.
just keep watching it because what I was hoping for was a bit of good cringe. But the only cringe line they had that episode was and it will be perfect when it fits a woman. Other than that, it was okay.
That's kind of enough, though.
It was,
That's really enough.
It
it
was
was,
boring. It
yeah.
was boring.
Hold on,
I
Actually,
don't
it was
believe it
boring.
deserves an 8% on Rotten Tomatoes, if I'm honest. Right?
Booster. Were you on any amphetamines or any
12, but I
drugs?
don't see how that's relevant.
No, he's just a millennial dude, and it's made for their brain. So.
Oh, piss off, dickhead. I'm just saying it's not as terrible as I wanted it to be. I was hoping for some good old cringe, and it was just kind of meh.
Yeah.
Right?
Which I think is the reason why it's got the low rating, because people were expecting it to be spicy, and it's just boring and not good.
I'm not gonna lie. There were some things I appreciated from it, like that. She actually showed Bruce Wayne a decent amount of respect, right?
Well, really, because the trailer, she's nothing but disrespecting him, actually.
That's what I was surprised by, because in this episode, and we understand that narration is her writing a letter for when Bruce Wayne comes back, and she says that, and he's gonna take his place until now, and I hope you don't mind that I'm borrowing your toys. But I feel from the next episode onward, it's gonna be like, why are they giving man credit for a woman's work? That's gonna be the next episode. I reckon. I'm excited.
Oh, I'm glad you're excited. I'm not particularly, but that's all I wanted to say about it. I didn't want to spend much time on it, but it sounds like you guys do. So go ahead and
Yes,
dig
I
in.
do.
Have at it.
Oh, that was it. I'm done.
Anybody else? Good.
It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. Boring. I mean, I could watch
It was
toilet
boring.
paper. Toilet paper.
Yeah.
Just sit there on the roll would be more interesting than that.
Wow, that's pretty bad. But this article here from Forbes with this Paul Tassi is complete bull, man. Lesbian lead has nothing to do with it. You know why? Because all of us comic book fans, we know right well that Batwoman's a lesbian, and she's been that way for a very long time, and we don't care, Mr. Tassi. So, whatever. Moving on. Denali.
Lynn Wiseman is set to direct the female-centric John Wick spinoff Ballerina.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Don't get crypto started on John Wick.
Hold on. Is this what's the chick's name that was in the John Wick 3? It did a good job actually. Jessica Alba, is it Alba?
No, Halle Berry.
Halle Berry, that's it. Halle Berry. Is this the Halle Berry character they're talking about spinning off?
No.
Oh, they see now that might work though, because she was pretty good in the flick, dude. She did a good job, especially working with those dogs.
She did actually, yeah.
It was awesome, and that's
no. It's basically they're setting up a character that will be important for John Wick 4. So it's going to be a new up and coming assassin type female, that will be hunting John Wick and John Wick 4.
Yeah, but see, nobody wants that though. This is the problem. These idiots, they're trying to push their agendas. No one wants it. The women certainly don't want it because they want to see freaking Keanu Reeves. That's what they're there for. They're drooling all over themselves because it's Keanu Reeves. And the men are drooling too because it's Keanu Reeves, right? They just came out with, what's her name? Charlize Theron, is that her name? Where she did some kind of Nautica Dynamite Blonde, or what was it called?
Atomic Blonde.
And that movie flopped hardcore. Because no one is interested in a female assassin. The men are there because they want to emulate or be like the dude, and the women are there because they want to see the handsome man that they put in the role. No one's interested in a women assassin. The women certainly aren't.
Chester.
Yes.
You understand the reason why?
I disagree.
Things like Atomic Blonde failing is the reason why they have to try and steal our shit to try and make their movies.
I know. I'm well aware.
That's why I find it sucks that Atomic Blonde flopped. I kind of wish it was successful, so they'd leave us alone.
Oh, that's a good point. Now, if someone disagrees, go ahead and disagree. You might lose the argument, though, but go ahead.
I disagree. I like, hardcore fighting chicks. So I like La Femme Nikita and Assassin and what was the other one? I didn't like Salt.
Little
Kill Bill.
Nikita
Right.
was certainly a successful take on it. You're right. You are right about that, and it's been remade several
It
times.
can
But
be done. Like
it can
there's
be.
been a lot of attempts at it, and they haven't worked. But I watched Atomic Blonde, and it wasn't terrible.
Well, see, the thing about La Femme Nikita, the reason why it was successful, though, is because it kind of took the approach of what a female assassin would do. She's going to use her sexuality to her advantage. She's going to be attacking from the shadow when surprised. She's not going to be going muscle to muscle and mano a mano with a dude. That's not how they do. They come at you from the side when you're not looking, right? And La Femme Nikita worked well because she's drop dead sexy. And that's fine, but that's not what they want to do now. Yeah.
There's another movie called Anna by the same director creator of La
Hannah?
Femme Nikita, and
Hannah.
it's recent. Yeah, Anna, and it's pretty much La Femme Nikita 2019, and that movie.
Hang on, yeah, that's on. Yeah, Anna, not Hannah. Yeah.
Yeah, Anna, not Hannah, Anna.
Right.
Yeah, it's a terrific movie, absolutely terrific.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I want to see that one, and I want to see Red Sparrow.
Oh, dude, don't do it. That's a horrible movie, dude.
No,
it's horrible.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah. It's
why do you hate women?
I don't. And like I said with La Femme Nikita, I love that flick, and a couple of its renditions, by the way. But Jennifer Lawrence in Red Sparrow is just pompous ego crap, dude. It's pure crap.
It's crazy that
What about Mother?
Luc
Did anyone see Mother?
Besson has tried to make the same movie so many times, like with Lucy, and because
Yeah.
Lucy was crap.
Yeah, but see, I at least had some fun with Lucy, though. You know, it wasn't a great movie, but I had some fun with it.
I liked it at first, and then it just got too crazy towards the end.
All right, well, everyone has an opinion. That's good.
Have you seen I think it's Hardwire with the fighting chick. What's her name?
I don't know.
Oh gosh, she's like an MMA fighter, and they gave her a movie.
Oh, you mean that absolutely? What's her name? Ronda Rousey?
No.
Cynthia Rothschild?
Gina. Oh gosh, hang on.
Gina Carano.
Yeah, I think so.
No, I haven't. No.
Cynthia Rothrock. Dude, you're going back to the 70s and 80s with her.
Dude, she was cool, though. But
Gina Carano. 2011 Haywire.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, now I haven't seen that one, and that might actually sell me on it. But the problem is, if you're going to bring a woman at me who's supposed to be an action hero, well, make her look the part, either by having her have the physicality to do it, or that she has the agility to sell it. But the problem is we don't get that.
I'd let Gina Carano kick my ass.
I'm sure you would. For instance, we have coming up here, we have Lady Thor going to be played by Natalie Portman, who can barely even hold up a plastic fucking hammer. Right?
Yeah, that's crap. Like I like female assassins.
Ding, Chester.
Sniper rifles and stuff, because there's a lot of female snipers, and that's like a legit thing. You know, you don't have to be physically strong necessarily, to punch and stuff. But
I write a lot of my female characters with a bow. I like women with a bow.
Yeah, which can be really cool, actually. But which is kind of funny because historically, women wouldn't use the bow because they weren't strong enough to pull it.
I also have a story where I gave the strong female lead a bow staff.
Oh,
I kind of like that too.
That's
because they can like use it as a javelin to like jam it into the ground and leap up and kick.
She's got a little droid. Is that right? She's got a little like round droid and a bow staff. Is that what you're saying?
Okay, I'm definitely moving off this because this is going straight to hell. Dinale, save us. Tell us what this is, please.
All right, from comics book news, Marvel's Hellstorm cast announced for the Hulu TV series. So apparently Hellstorm is going forward with the TV side of Marvel Studios.
Interesting. And of course, Disney's doing a lot of TV stuff they're working on, which is cool. But it's an interesting choice, though. I don't know how popular Hellstorm is. I barely know the character. This is a character coming out of what, the 21st century, right?
Yeah, from Defenders and stuff.
Damon Helmstor.
Yeah.
The son of Satan.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So they just made him look
Yeah.
different. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, probably, yeah.
Oh, all right.
Oh, is this gonna?
Yeah.
Are they gonna try and rip off Lucifer? Is that what they're doing? Or
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's supposed to be. I am a good guy, and I'm the male version of Raven.
Oh, I see. Well, I think it's cool they try kind of obscure characters from Marvel and try to see if they'll hit. I mean, we've seen it happen with Guardians, etc.
Mhm.
So it's a cool idea. But I think you're right with the Lucifer thing. They're trying to get some of that money. But look at the cast we got in here. We got Tom Austin with I don't have a clue who he is. Sidney Lemon, don't have a clue. Elizabeth Marvel, ooh, perfect name, ma'am. No, never heard of you. Robert Wisdom, once again, never heard of you. Although I do like The Watchmen. That's probably the TV show. Wisdom, sorry.
no.
June Carroll, never heard of you. Never heard of this stuff either. Is there anything here I've heard of? Arian Guerrera, don't know those things. And Elaine, E.
Yeah.
E.
What kind of last name? Yeah. What kind of last name is that?
E.
You need more letters than two to have a name.
You do, and preferably not two vowels would be nice. Yeah, I don't know any of these people, and I don't know any of these programs either. But
Well,
that doesn't mean anything. They could be great.
Mindhunter is the Netflix David Flinch TV series where they talk to serial killers to hunt down other serial killers.
Oh yeah, no, I saw a couple of those. That wasn't bad actually.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. These might be great things. I just don't know them.
Yeah, and Ballers is, I believe, the HBO vehicle for Dwayne Johnson. And what's the
What
guy
is it
who
about
played?
pornography?
No, they're I think some kind of talent agent or something.
Football players.
There you go.
So it's Jerry Maguire.
Yeah, it's Jerry Maguire.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool. I don't know. This could be
Are we
cool.
live?
I think this might be fun. Anybody have any comments on Hellstorm coming and getting his own TV show?
It's probably going to be
this guy.
It's hell of a time.
No, thank you, George. You can go back to sleep now. How about our guest? Either one of you guys have an opinion on this?
I don't know where crypto went to, but
Is it kind of like what's this called? Constantine.
I don't recall it being like Constantine. I think this is more of like a Hell warrior, whereas Constantine's he deals a lot with Hell, but he's more of a inept wizard.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
My kind of wizard. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Constantine's great. We love Constantine. Yeah, no, I think it's cool, dude. We'll have to check it out, and hopefully they'll make something. And it's also good because this character doesn't carry a lot of baggage, right? So they have a lot of freedom with it. So we'll see. Hopefully they do a good job. But then again, we have a whole list of Disney TV shows that are going to be coming on Disney Plus, which starts this month, right? Or is it next month?
Next month.
Yeah.
November.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll see. We'll see how Disney does with the TV side of things, because if their Disney Channel and their kids shows are anything to go by, we're in big trouble.
Yeah, because I am worried about that, because this Hellstorm looks like it could be badass, but they're gonna Disney-fy it, you know.
They will Disney-fy it. You're right, but we'll just have to wait and see. We have to wait and see. It is a streaming service, which means they can get away with a more leaning R-rated, but who knows? Now, this right here, I think is hilarious. Go ahead, Dinale.
Yeah, we.
All right, so the rumor from Bounty into Comics is DC is discussing standalone Two-Face movie after Joker success. So we had one rumor about Lex Luthor. Now we have a rumor for Harvey Dent.
Yeah.
I
Now,
think that would work better than a Luthor movie.
you think now, because we had a good long
Yeah.
conversation
Yeah.
about that yesterday with Lex Luthor, and it was very differing opinions. I'm just the opposite. I think Luthor would work much more in that format than Two-Face, actually, because Two-Face is too chaotic, dude.
No, I mean beforehand, because
I think there's so much psychological shit you can do with his his split personality nature, and we can really take on. Well, basically, a Two-Face movie would be the Long Halloween without Batman, I guess, right? You know, dealing with the Falcone family and everything, and a lawyer obsessed with taking down this family and the corruption he goes through while obsessing himself with these people.
right. And you can always show his online persona, which is this white knight, compared to his, private persona, which is this raging guy who's frustrated with the system and
Sure.
who's frustrated with all these roadblocks that culminates into him becoming the Two-Face. Because that's always been something part of the character, that a lot of these characters manifest these tragedy where somebody becomes a hero because he's tragedy. It kind of makes the Batman villain into villains in regards. They never move away from that tragedy kind of deal.
Well, and it's a good point because Harvey is very angry that the system isn't working, and when he finally has his break, he just decides to become the ultimate vigilante in a way. But well, anyway, it's actually very confused. If you go back and read the history of Two-Face in DC Comics, it's not that straightforward. But nevertheless, it could be cool, but the actor you would need to pull this off properly to sell it, I don't know who in the hell could do this. That's the problem, because this guy they're showing here, who was in the great movie with Heath Ledger, he didn't sell that at all. You have an opinion of who can sell that?
Jim Carrey.
Jared Leto.
He's no longer skinny. He's a poor excuse of a human being, and he can project the right amounts of facial expressions to pull it off.
Eddie
Yeah.
Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. Let's race swap him. Sure, why not? Timothy Oliphant as Luther. Ooh, that's interesting. Cult films. Billy Zane.
So I'd say Nick Cage for Two-Face. That
Billy
sounds hilarious.
Billy Zane. No, Nick Cage might be able to pull it off. When Nick is
Maybe
on,
Nick Cage
he's
from
on,
20
dude.
years ago, not Nick Cage today.
Well, you
He's
don't-
too cheesy now.
Seriously, guys, though, isn't it time for a transgender Two-Face? Trans face?
Dude,
About
bite
it.
me.
No, that's not bad, because he doesn't know if it's heads or tails. He doesn't even
One
know
side
if
is
it's
man,
a
one
guy or a
side is
girl.
One personality's a man,
Bastards.
the other's a woman.
All right, I'm shutting
One's
the
a
stream
man
off. The
and
stream is
one's a
going
woman.
off right now. I'm ending it. It's over. All right. Go ahead. Oh, I did shut him up. Oh, that worked. I have to remember that. Next.
So this is from the Hollywood Reporter. Hollywood Reporter. Studio dilemma: risking a box office flop or sell to Netflix. Basically, Sony is trying to decide whether to actually show He-Man and the Masters of the Universe into the theaters, or actually go directly to a streaming platform, whether it's Netflix or their own platform or whatever platforms, because they actually make more money just going direct to the streaming service than they actually do to the theaters, because they have to pay the theaters and they have to, do all those fees. So that's something that's going on. And if they go with Netflix or a platforming, then they'll be like a second or third company to do so after Disney, because one of the reasons Disney's Phase 4 is going into Disney Plus is because it's 100% profit for them instead of going to the theaters. And the same thing with Paramount, which are doing with all their movies as well, going to Netflix and to their own streaming services, because it's 100% profit. So
Yeah.
Isn't there already a He-Man cartoon coming out, written by Kevin Smith?
I don't know, but I know they did. Well, I know what
Yeah.
Netflix did to She-Ra.
Yeah, no, there is supposedly a continuation of the original He-Man coming to Netflix, directed and show run by Kevin Smith. But this is the live action He-Man movie that's been in development hell for several years.
I don't know though. Kevin Smith's lost a lot
Remake.
of weight. He looks like he's got AIDS. Not sure.
Dude, he had a heart attack. Come on, that's rough.
It is rough. You're right. So it's not AIDS. It's a heart attack with AIDS attached. Is that what it is?
If you're talking about helpers, then yes, he has a lot of AIDS.
Yeah, he has a lot of AIDS.
So you're saying he's got like super AIDS?
Super AIDS.
Hey,
Yeah, that's what I'm
not
saying.
bad, Dinale. Very good.
Yeah.
Ah.
I think there's going to be too many streaming services, and you'll find that some will just die off and some will survive, and it just depends who's gonna hold out, because people aren't going to spend, yes, it's like $8 or $10 a month or whatever it is for one streaming service, but then at the moment I've got 3 streaming services, right?
Hmm.
And that's $30 plus a month. So, and if there's going to be more coming out, I'm going to have to stop having one. Cut one of the other ones out, because I'm not going to spend like $50 a month on streaming services.
No, and
know
no
what
one
would
else
be
is as
interesting?
well.
Well,
Yeah.
they should aggregate all these different services into one service and offer through your cable service.
It's just like cable again, right?
Right, exactly. It's just
Right.
expensive cable, and that's what everyone's complaining
Yeah.
about. And everyone is definitely running with the Kevin Smith has age hashtag. And let me see here. Uh, P.S. Melter says new He-Man will be gay and how he is a power bottom. Booster, explain power bottom to me, please.
Oh, wait, in a relationship between 2 men, and one man is melting himself on top of the other, a
Mhm.
power bottom is the one who does all the frosting while he's on the bottom.
Wow, Booster is
It's
very
a bottom
educational
that
for me.
generates the power.
He knows way too much. Way too much.
Booster, do you have like this pinned to your computer?
He does.
No. I just hear a thing or two. I have friends.
There you go.
Yeah.
This is Chester's
Get
dark
around,
middle chapter. Thank you, Bullet. I do appreciate it. Let's move on back to
Yes, please.
our project that we're looking at today. And now, Crypto, we're going to take a look at your perks here. From Megawatt versus the Vampires of the Sun, a very cool luchador fighting vampire story, which sounds a lot of fun. But first one we have here is a $10 pledge, and this is a digital, which is really cool that you have this on here, and especially for international backers. So good on you for doing that, dude.
Mhm.
I did it
Absolutely.
just
Call
for the
people.
international backers. Once again, it comes back to all of the wonderful people who I have met who live in Oceania. The Boosters and the Spencers and the
Yeah.
Riseys, they've all convinced me you have to do the digital for us, man. We need it bad.
Because we're broke.
Down here. We're poor. I don't have enough money for tendies this month.
Yeah.
Tinnies.
Has
And
Risey
tinnies and tendies.
has Risey
Chicky
taken
tendies.
has Risey taken our advice and sticks to beer, or is he still hitting the whiskey hard?
It's a mix of everything.
No comment.
No
He'll be
comment.
mad if Todd and I talk about that. I
All right.
guarantee it.
Okay. Fine. Fine. Oh, by the way, Risey lives in Perth, and I know exactly where his house is. So if you'd like me to
Dox
dox him, just give me a call, and I'll help you out with that.
Hey, I'm the one who
Oh,
does the
don't-
doxing around here.
That's right. That's
Oh,
true.
don't
You
do
are the
that.
doxer. Goodness gracious.
Oh no.
Hey, but in all fairness, I only dox people who don't back my book.
There you go. See, fair enough. Fair enough.
I disavow publicly. I set this all up just to make it happen.
Oh, come on. We love Risey, dude. That's why we play with him. Risey's cool. I get a kick out of him every time I talk to him. Haven't spoken to him in a while. Bullet says whiskey is great.
Let's get him in here.
Well, yeah, Risey's always welcome, dude.
No,
Let's see how much he's drunk today, because for him, it's about, I don't know, 2
He's
or
so
3
much
o'clock
more
in
than
the
just
afternoon.
he's so much more, gentlemen, than just a handful of beer. He's more than that. He's a human being. A good
He
one.
is. All right, let's keep moving here. $20 pledge. Tell us about this one.
Hey, man, we're going to send you a signed copy of the book with your name printed in the back pages as a special thank you for supporting us.
So this is kind of the straight up the main back. This is the book. This is the book itself. $20, pretty good price. This is a 46-page, 48-page, I believe, book.
Plus
and
bonus pages. Plus,
plus-
that's just the main story.
all right, so you get some bonus sketches as well. Nice.
We'll see what gets in there. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, no, that's cool, dude. But I think it's a good price. You've undercut a little bit of what we're seeing, but I think it's fair. It's a good price. And then
think
we
so.
have a blank sketch cover one for the $25, which is kind of the ubiquitous price we see all the time. What's the deal with the blank sketch cover?
It's blank,
So
and it's a sketch cover.
meaning you're not going to do any sketching on it. There's just that they could like come to a con or
No.
something
If
and
you
get
want,
a
if you
sketch.
want a sketch cover filled out, we can do that too. But that's just a little bit further down.
I see. I see. Okay. Cool. 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 And people do bring those to cons and get the covers done by artists and stuff. So that's cool.
That's right. If you ever see Todd Mulrooney at a con, you just go up to him and you say, "Hey Todd, can you sketch on this?" And he'll be like, "Yeah, sure, $150." And you'll be like, "Hey, that's great. What a good deal."
Is it that expensive?
That's
I
pretty
don't want to
cheap.
pay that at all.
The point is to talk that price down, not to talk it up. That's cheap. That's for Todd.
Wait a minute.
That's
Wait a minute.
cheap
Did
for
you say Todd Mulrooney at a convention?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Silence. So we have $50.
Why is everyone
pledge
quiet about that?
here. 'Cause
I
it's
do
not-
conventions.
Do you?
Oh, he does. He does do
Yes.
conventions.
You're supposed to put each other over. You know that, right? You're all live in front of
Right?
people.
We're well aware. Thank you. But anyway, we got a $50 pledge here, both
They
covers
are
and a
aware.
poster. So this is the get 2 book one.
Get 2 books, and you get the digital download, and you get the poster.
Ooh, is the poster this right here?
Maybe. Maybe not.
Maybe or maybe not. All right.
We'll
fine,
see what
fine,
happens.
fine.
We'll see how if we raise money, I'm just gonna. My goal is to raise as much money as I can, so I can just dump it all at Josh Spencer and have him just draw more and more stuff. Because look at how fun his art is.
It is fun. It is fun. Absolutely.
It's just fun.
Yeah, and actually, I'm kind of waiting on him because he's playing well, I won't get into that. That's for another show.
Let's get into
Anyway, $75.
D&D.
Be drawn as a wrestler. Now we're getting into the ones where they're limited here.
Yeah, this
so
one only has one left.
Yeah. So tell us about these limited gets here.
It's pretty self-explanatory. You get drawn into the comic book in at least one panel. It'll either be during Megawatt's match at the beginning. You introduce the characters at the beginning. And so, how do we introduce the character? Well, we just show him in his natural surroundings. So he's having a wrestling match with his 2 partners, Golden Heart and Tiger Shark. And you can be drawn as a wrestling fan. They're rooting for him. Or you might be drawn outside of the sports arena after the match when he comes out to all the flash bulbs and whatnot. Maybe that terminology was dated. Flash bulb, does that mean anything anymore?
It does to me, but I'm pretty old.
Smartphone flash? I don't know.
$100. Be drawn as a vampire. That's pretty cool. And now you were talking about some of these being reoccurring as well. So go ahead and cover the $100 pledge, please.
Oh, see, now this is really awesome. This is the one that I would go in at. You get drawn as a vampire, and you'll more than likely be multiple panels, multiple pages. Odds are pretty good that you will survive until the second book. And what we'll probably do is if this book is successful, the second book, we will probably send out a pledge before we, like a secret perk, if you will.
Yeah.
So people can jump back in and be drawn as themselves again. And we'll probably do it for a little less money too on the next one. Just because those people have already, helped us get it into print. So let's just keep going. Let's just keep, shoveling some coal in the train.
Yeah, cool. Before I move on to the next one, I do have a kind of quick question we didn't really cover. We went through it all so quickly.
Is it about her boobs?
No, those are self-evident.
Okay, you direct those towards Josh.
My question is about his name, Megawatt. Now, because we know there's a supernatural element to this, but is he just a luchador, or does he actually have some kind of superpower?
Let me say it this way. For right now, he's just a luchador.
Okay.
I have a few ideas for this character, but everything I write is a screenplay, and so it's a self-contained story. Megawatt versus the Vampires of the Sun. If people like this and it resonates with them, if fans want to see the continuing adventures of Megawatt, up next.
And we just lost crypto. He's been dropping in and out here.
What's next?
I will go next.
Sorry, guys. I'm here. Sorry, I bumped the cord.
That's okay.
So yeah, if Megawatt versus the Vampires of the Sun resonated with people, when this story was done, the next story in his life would probably be Megawatt versus the Aztec mummies.
Ooh.
And we would send the boys. They would leave the great state of Oregon, and they would head south back to Mexico, and get involved in a mystery down there.
So this takes place in Oregon. Goodness gracious.
This takes place, in the Great Pacific Northwest. Well, here's the thing: is like every Mexican I ever met lived in Oregon.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that.
True story.
There we go. So Oregon is the second Mexico, the new Mexico. Oh no, wait, we have that already.
Well, I wanted to
Hotbed. It's
update
a
it for the
hotbed.
21st century, and so in order to have like this political plot about undocumented immigrants being smuggled into the United States for food for vampires, obviously it was set in the United States.
Yeah, no, makes sense. I think, and you're touching on the
Serves
modern
story.
zeitgeist as well, which is always a good idea. Now, this
Yeah.
$150 one, you're able to be drawn as a wrestling journalist, and I'm assuming that is probably a reoccurring character.
I don't know if it's a reoccurring character, but it definitely means you're going to have some lines. You're going to actually have lines in the comic book.
Oh, I see.
So that's why we made that one a little bit more.
I see. Oh, all right.
You will probably use your
bring me
real
a
name.
Sharpie. You bring
And,
me
like,
a
the way-
Sharpie, and I'll silhouette you on every panel on the page.
And the way I look at it is like let's say Todd Mulrooney here from Ignition get tuned in. Let's say it was him who bought it.
Uh-huh.
I would say, hey Todd, do you want us to say, hey, it's Todd Mulrooney from Ignition, get tuned in, blah 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 blah. That's my question. So that way you get like a free plug.
Yeah, that works.
Granted, if you're from Pornhub, you don't get a free plug.
Well, I don't even know what that
It's a
is.
book for everybody.
So,
Need that a long time ago.
yeah.
So literally, if you guys all chipped in like $25 to get Booster drawn into this comic, you could have him say, "Hello, it's Booster Kiwi. I'm from Fanspeak."
Oh yeah, that'd be great. That would be a great
Uh-huh.
push.
Oh, he
can
wouldn't
see
do
that.
that.
Yeah,
wait a minute.
He'd throw us
I
under
can
the
put in-
bus. What are you talking about?
Wait a minute.
I want to say that with that exact same voice. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Can
Well,
I
actually, I think what would be better, I'll tell you what, Chester, if you buy that perk right now while we're live on the air,
Uh-huh.
not only will I draw you in and you can say, this is Chester Busby from Fanspeak. Here's my question, blah, 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 blah. I will have Josh draw Booster behind you, like sticking out, and underneath your word bubble, it'll have him going,
Okay.
perfect.
Okay.
Can I
All
add? Can I double that purchase and have these two gentlemen in garter belts?
Yeah,
No garter. I'm sorry,
Go
I
to
can't do
hell,
that.
George.
Can't do the garter belts.
Now, with $250, you get to be a referee. Now,
I'd
that's
wear
in the
that.
beginning of the book, right?
You will get to be the referee. Yeah, I think that the wrestling match lasts two or three pages.
Oh, that's cool. That is cool. And then the last one here is you have one, a couple.
There's
of them that's all
Art T
gone.
Bear. Did you see him? There was Art T Bear right there. I saw him.
Where? Talk about the old
down a little
Mexican dude in the background.
No, that looks like John Huston to me.
Is that handyman giving the vampires access to this truck?
Maybe.
I've heard people say
Oh.
that.
I don't see
Oh,
Art
no.
at all.
So this is his troubled origin story. I see.
Go
So
down.
he has to redeem
Go
himself
down.
in
Wait a
handyman.
minute.
Next page down.
Hold on. How many people are in this book?
There he is. There's Art T Bear right there.
And that's Tom
To the
Segura
right.
on the
Young,
left.
it's a young Art T Bear.
Oh, I see. I get it. Okay, cool.
Say, Dios mío.
Now, he and Art's not
Just here in this
Mexican at all.
book.
But the $300 one
Okay,
here, you
but
get
anyway,
to.
it's back to the referee. Yeah, you can be the referee. Absolutely. We had the ring announcer too, which you see at the bottom of this page.
Oh, yeah, there you go. It's time. Sweet. All right, so the $300 one here is what in particular? This is some kind of commission. Did we lose crypto again?
Yes, that's a sketch commission cover.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sweet. All right then. This is the project, guys. This is Megawatt versus the Vampires of the Sun. And it looks good. It's got some fun people involved with it. It's a easy, straightforward premise. It looks like a fun book. So definitely go check it out. Do keep in mind that one of the things you can do, other than just simply backing the project, and there are several options to do it. You can also just share it out, and sharing it out is sharing is caring, and it's
Sharing is
letting
caring.
more people see what it
Unless
is
it's
so they
ads.
come over. Yeah, Booster, do you have something intelligible to say?
No.
Okay, good. But definitely share it out, guys, as a minimum, and let everybody kind of get their eyes on it. Excellent, dude. A lot of fun having the guys over here to talk about the project. Let me come back over this other side real quick because we do need to get out of here. Do keep in mind that in 40 minutes you do have the Blacklist Universe Pro Edition of Drawn and Quartered coming on. I have no clue what they're doing today. but I'm sure it'll be fun. And then, of course, keep in mind that tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the fan edition, which is better. Definitely come and join.
Don't tell Mike.
Don't tell Mike; he'll get upset. But other than that, we definitely need to jump out of here because I'm literally 9 minutes away from needing to walk out the door, so I need to go.
Oh no!
Go! Nevertheless, I think that's pretty much it. Definitely go check out. No, George's thing is done. He's working on production. Check out of course, the Megawatt we just talked about. Is there anything else? No. Dinale, take us out of here.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for Comics News today. Thank you, our guests, for sharing Megawatts and versus the Vampires of the Sun. Check it out on Kickstarter. See if you like it. And if you do, back it. If you don't, share it, because sharing is caring. In less than 40 minutes, it's the Blacklist Universe Drawn and Quarter Pro Edition, which I believe Eric Hawkins is.
He is.
Eric
is. Yeah, and his piece last week was absolutely killer. Just absolutely killer on the fan edition. So definitely go back, Eric, and support him, guys.
They're doing the Black Canary.
The Black Vulcan.
For this theme.
Black Vulcan.
Oh my God, we have Martina Makota tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Oh. Whew. I'm gonna have to try and behave myself.
Oh God, Lady Alchemy.
I'm sweating all over.
Booster wants to be a power bottom for her.
He does.
Whoa, I disavowed that, even though it's true. Okay.
All right. Join the Immortal Mass newsletter at dinalescomics@gmail.com. Just send me an email saying you want to be on the newsletter, and I will put you in the newsletter. But as always, your perception shapes your reality, so always make it a good one.
Namaste.
Namaste.
All right. Later, guys.
Aloha.
Bye.